Hi, it's Chris Croft here from successfultrainers.com, and I want to talk to you about websites. I've looked at lots of websites of other trainers, and sometimes they just seem to make really basic errors. So I've just got my top 4 tips for a good website. Obviously, there's more than 4 things you need to know, but I think I would pick these as my top 4. So my number 1 tip is make your website really clear, because you've only probably got 5 seconds or less to tell people what you do. So just say, I run training courses in project management. Make sure that visually there's plenty of Gantt charts or whatever on display so that people can immediately see what it is. Because they're thinking, is it consultancy? Is it coaching? Is it training? So we don't want some waffly description of what you do. We don't want something that's been stuffed with loads of tags and keywords for search engine optimization. We just want a really clear statement on the homepage of what you do. Now, the second thing is we want a photograph of you. And I've seen websites for trainers where there's no picture of them. Now, don't worry if you're not particularly good looking or beautiful. If you look like me or whatever, it's fine. They just want to know who is going to do this training for me. So they have to see the face of the person. Ideally, a picture of you actually talking to a group of people, but it could just be a stylish photo of you looking at the camera, whatever you want, but they need to see you. Now, the third thing I think is that we want to see the details of what you teach. So whether you teach 1 subject or whether you teach 10 subjects, for each one, we want to be able to click on it and see the details of what's in the day. Now, it doesn't have to be every single thing that you're going to tell people. That's giving away perhaps too much. For a whole day of training, I would want to see probably 10 bullet points, maybe as many as 16 bullet points of what you're going to talk about. You could make them a little bit intriguing, like the top 5 things to remember when you plan your project, or the commonest mistakes, or how to avoid cost overruns, something like that, where people are going to think, oh, I want to know about that. But there needs to be an outline of what you're going to cover on the day. And I would say for a Zoom hour, we want to see between 4 and 6 bullet points. And for a day, we want to see between 10 and 16 bullet points. So we want to be able to drill down into the subjects. And it's amazing how many trainers' websites don't allow you to see whether the day is actually going to be any good or not. And then the final thing I think you should have on your website, point number 4, is your blog. And I think there has to be a blog. There's nothing worse than a blog that's 5 years old or they've only got 2 blog posts. Apparently a well-established blog has 50 blog posts. But however many posts you have, you should post every week or 2, and it should be interesting and add some value for the customer, not just talking about how great you are. It should be top tips for project management or negotiating or whatever it is. So make sure you've got a good blog, because that makes you look established, gives you some credibility, and allows potential customers to judge the quality of your work. So those are some thoughts about websites. If you want to know more about becoming a self-employed trainer, then please do contact me on the link below. Maybe I can help you to get into the best job in the world.